Here we go.
Huck took off while I was gone, so I just want to say, Huck, thank you so very much for coming up here and playing for us today and writing half a song for Dave on the spot. There ain't nothing better than that. So thank you. Well, since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. It's down at the end of Logan Street on Aubrey. You make me so lonely, baby. I get so lonely. I get so lonely, I can die. And although it's always crowded, you still can find some room. The broken hearted lovers go to cry away their dressed in black. Well, they've been so long on Logan Street, they ain't never coming back. You make me so lonely, baby. I get so lonely. I get so lonely, I can die. Hey, now when you face to it's you, and you got to tell. Take a walk down Logan Street, I'm grateful man. You make me so lonely, baby. I get so lonely. I get so lonely, I could die. And although it's always crowded, you still can find some room where broken-hearted lovers go to cry away. You make me so lonely, baby. I get so lonely. I get so lonely, I could die. Thank you, Sandy. Before we go on to the next one here, I just want to say a word or two about Dave. So many of you knew him, and this he loved you guys. You know, he really did. He was a little rough around the edges, I guess you could say, but inside, man, he had the best heart. And I'll tell you what, for 35 years, I was so privileged to be part of that. It was great. And thank you. Somebody's gonna hurt someone before the night is through. you all so much. No heartaches here tonight, yeah? Thank you all so much. Y'all rock too.
That's because they all love us.
Tell them who we are.
They're our families.
Tell them who we are.
We are the Antique Rockers. And you know what? I'm going to take a minute here, since I've got distracted anyway, to introduce the band. And usually I just say this is Cindy, but I'm going to do a little more than that this time. This is Skip Lanham. And Skip is the one that made every one of those CDs so that they could be here today to have them. And we move into his house 2 evenings a week and make a lot of noise, and he's great, and we thank him. This is his wife, Cindy, and she's a top-notch keyboard player and a good singer and a good friend.
Thank you.
This is Donna.
Thanks, Paul.
This is Donna. And Donna is probably one of the more talented musicians in the group. She's a good singer, she's a flute player, she is the president of the American Legion Band, and she plays flute with that too, so Donna rocks hard. This is Billy Stanford, and I know there's a lot of you from Lockport, and y'all know who he is, and I don't know what to say about him other than that, except that any time through this whole thing with Dave, whenever there was something going on and I needed help, Billy was there. Billy was there. So, and this is Paul, our bass player, who got up here and smoked with T-Bird. I thought he did a real good job. And Paul and I are the only two Joliet residents, I think. So, the rest of these all are Lockportonians.
I'm Don.
Lockportians.
Lockportians?
Don, we forgot the drummer. Huh? Yeah. He's been there and do stuff. Oh, okay.
And last but not least, last but not least, we have Don on drums. And Don, he is so good. I tell you what, I just love a good basher. I gotta tell you. And I also gotta tell you that we were originally gonna do this at a different venue, and it was a big nightmare, and they ended up canceling it. And so I had my minor nervous breakdown, and these people, Don and Donna, scooped me up in a bucket and carried me down here to the Moose and got the Moose. And so all these people up here on stage are absolute the best. And I'm Lynn, and I'm Dave's wife.
Yeah, Lynn.
I don't believe this. Don't touch this. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Skip. Tell them who we are.
Well, we're big rock singers, we got golden fingers, and we're loved everywhere we go.
Sounds like us.
We sing about beauty, we sing about truth, and $10,000 a show.
Yeah, right.
Take all kind of business, all kind of thrills, the thrills we never know. It's the thrill that'll get you when you get your picture on the corner of the road. Rolling Stone.
Wanna see my picture on the cover?
Stone.
Wanna buy 5 copies for my mother and
Stone.
wanna see my smiling face
On the cover of the Rolling Stone.
Now that's a very good idea.
I got a freaky old lady named Cocaine Katie who embroiders on my jeans.
I got my poor old gray-haired daddy driving my limousine.
But now it's all designed to blow our minds, but our minds won't really go. Like the blow that'll get you when you get your picture on the cover of the Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone.
Wanna see my picture on the cover?
Stone.
Buy 5 copies for my mother.
Stone.
Wanna see my smiling face
On the cover of the Rolling Stone.
Hey, I know how. Rock and roll.
Oh, rock and roll, yeah.
songs out here that are written about love. Love lost, love found, love shared. Sometimes we wonder where our love goes. Baby, 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 don't leave me. Oh, please don't leave me all by myself. My God is burning, yearning, feeling inside me. Oh, deep inside me, and it hurts so bad. Came in my heart, baby, baby. So can I leave you when I'm burning low, baby, baby? That stings like a bee, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, 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 baby. So helplessly, yet now I wanna leave, baby, baby. Ooh, you wanna leave me, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, 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 baby. Where did our love go? Ooh, don't you want, baby, baby? Don't you want me no more, baby, baby? Ooh, baby, you're not gonna leave these people to dance by themselves, are ya? Baby, baby, where did our love go? And all of your promises, I will never know. My God is burning, burning, yearning, feeling outside me. Oh, so deep inside me, and it hurts so bad. Before you had my heart, you were the perfect bride. Now that you've got me, you wanna leave me behind. Ooh, baby, 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 don't leave me. Ooh, please don't leave me, all by myself, baby. Ooh, baby, 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 baby. Where did our love go? Ooh, please don't leave me all by myself. Thanks for dancing. And you know what David said? David said, don't sit down.
And don't be afraid of the cameras. Come on up front and dance so we can see you.
Yeah. Have I ever told you how good it feels to hold you? was thank you. We love you too. We have one that's from about the same era, but I suppose it's more R&B than it is Motown, but it's all the same umbrella, I think. Whether it's jobs, debts, or big bellies, or big butts, or whatever, we all got our chains in life. And the only thing I know of to tell you is unchain your heart.
Unchain your heart, baby, let me go. Unchain my heart, 'cause you don't love me no more. Each time I call you on the phone, some fella tells me that you're not at home. care.
Unchain my heart,
Baby, let me go.
unchain my heart,
You don't love me no more.
unchain my heart.
Unchain my heart, please. Set me free.
Thank you. And hey, dessert is being served. The cake is being cut up over there, and it's Black Forest cake, which was Dave's favorite dessert.
We're gonna take a trip way like Dean Martin back.
When the river starts to rain, dance with me, make me sway. Like an ocean out to the shore, hold me close, sway me on. Like a flower bedded in the breeze, stay with me, sway with me. When we dance, you have a way with me, stay with me, sway with me. Other dancers may be on, but my eyes see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway alone, I can hear the sound of crying long before make me sway. It's only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me. Dances maybe on the floor, when my eyes see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I can breathe. I can hear the sound of violins long before it's make me sway. It's only you know how. Sway me to sway me on. You know how, sway me smooth, sway me down. You know how, sway me smooth, sway me down.
Thank you so much. Hi, Dewey. I saw you slinking around the corner over there. How you doing, buddy?
We're gonna feature our newest member.
Which is Don.
heard it in a love song kind of a thing. People that know Dave well he was notorious for not wanting physical affection, okay? He didn't want hugs, he didn't want, none of that business. In fact, somebody would tell me to give Dave a hug and I'd say, yeah, but I gotta catch him first. But you know what? He had the best heart. He had the best heart and the biggest love. And I guess that's all there is to say about that, except that he's not there.
Ooh.
Well, no one told me about her, the way she lied. Well, no one told me about her, how many people cried. But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? There's no bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she acted, and the color of her hair. Her voice is soft and cool, her eyes are clear and bright, but she's not well, no one told me about her. What could I do? Well, no one told me about her. Well, they all knew. But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? There's no bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she acted, and the color of her hair. Her voice is soft and cool, her eyes are clear and bright, but she's not there. But if you say you're sorry, how would I know? Why should I care? There's no bother trying to find her. She's not there. But let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she acted, and the color of her hair. Her voice is soft and cool, her eyes are clear and bright, but she's not there.
Thank you.
We're going to do one more here, and we're going to take a break. And let me tell you, folks, if this one doesn't get you out on the dance floor, you got no pulse at all. They take you, baby, down to the river again. Got to tell you something, go back to your head. I got a line on you, I got a line on you, baby.
break, and then we'll be back. And maybe we'll get a couple folks up here to jam with us.